Well, we have the creative team of Glenn Danzig and Simon Bisley back yet again in 2024. Verotik, I don't know if they were continuing to make comics or not, but I actually had a subscriber on the channel bring this to my attention. So I wanted to take a look at this, and yeah, I'm shocked that Verotik is still making comics. I didn't know they were. Maybe this is like a one-off thing. I have not seen this. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. Danzig as a writer, I don't know, because I've never read an actual Danzig comic. He makes good fucking music, so there's that at least. If you couldn't tell, quite a Danzig fan myself, actually. And yeah, let's just kind of go through this and take a look at it, because why not? I like these quick videos where I can look at somebody, especially Simon Bisley. Anytime I can look at a Bisley comic, especially a new Bisley comic, hey man, I'm all for it. So this is like brand new. Hellmask, what a very interesting name, by the way. I don't know if I said that. But man, I mean, we definitely got some hardcore stuff here, right? Just a dude in armor, looks like Death Dealer, but you know, hey man, that's kind of what you get with Verotik, is you get this very absurd, like, dude in armor kills everybody and he's a man, you know? So he's tougher than the average guy, and I'm totally cool with that, especially when you got Bisley slinging the inks and doing the pencils, and I'm assuming the color as well. Man, I love that splatter, by the way. And I love stuff like that, like the head getting cut in half and the eyeballs coming out. And I love the how we're getting like that shine on the armor, the reflection on the armor. I mean, that's just cool stuff there. Bisley has such a unique art style, and I can't pinpoint what I love about it. I just love everything about it. I think he's just one of my favorite artists of all time. Just an absolute genius when it comes to creating art. Great horses, by the way. I am a sucker for a great horse. For me, they are very difficult to draw, and I don't know, maybe it's because I focus most of my time on the human figure, so I don't draw many horses, but I mean, come on. And that's how you want to start your comics. You want to start your comic in the heat of battle. You want to get the person instantly caught in it. And man, this looks like a cool comic. I mean, it's very gory, a lot of eyeballs popping out. I'm imagining Danzig's probably like, yeah, I want their eyeballs to just like pop out. And Bisley's probably like, okay, I can do that for you. Heads all over the place, arms, limbs all over the place. I mean, just brutal as all hell. Fire breathing horses. I mean, come on now. How can you go wrong with that? I love the way this comic looks. I'm actually surprised. I do hate that it's on that glossy shit, but whatever. I guess it makes color pop more. I don't know. I like my stuff on newsprint, but I guess I'm an old fuddy-duddy in that world of, I don't know. I like my comics to look... I like my comics to look more vintage and be cheaper than paying $6 for a comic on glossy paper that just that reflects every bit of light that hits it. I don't know, maybe I'm just old school, but anyways, I mean, we have more gore. I mean, a lot of you know, arrows going through the eye, through the mouth. I love that perspective, by the way, that, you know, we got like a Dutch angle, you know, perspective there. Beautiful. I love it. You know, I love it when I hate when you get like the straight on perspective. I think it's boring. So you gotta add a little Dutch angle to it, kind of put it off kilter a bit, more interesting to look at. And then of course, if we didn't already have insane amounts of brutality, we have the sword through the chin. That's always the go-to when you really want to be brutal. I don't know what this dude is going on this unbelievable killing spree, but I'm sure it has something to do with revenge, would be my assumption. So yeah, beautiful. Just, I love the blood splatter. And blood splatter is one of those things where it's like, I use a brush, I use like a toothbrush to do blood splatter usually, and I just go like, but that's when I'm doing it in when I'm inking. But yeah, I mean, I did perfecting the blood splatter. That's one that I think we all want as artists, because man, if you're not drawing dudes getting their heads chopped off and doing insane, you know, blood splatter, you know, I always say, what sells? Big fucking beefy dudes, you know, beautiful women, and violence. That's what always sells in comics. You make a comic like that, you're gonna sell 10,000 copies, easy. I mean, obviously you need some kind of following, but just make your comics look cool. That's my thing. Like, the cooler comics look, the more of a chance I'm willing to give a comic. And I don't know what the fuck this story is about, but I guarantee you I'm gonna look at it multiple times, because A, it's Bisley's artwork, but B, I mean, it's just cool. It's a really cool idea. And that's what people want. They don't want boring ass comics. I know there are some people who, you know, like manga has a lot of slice of life shit, whatever, but the stuff that caters to me, because I am a man, is those three things that I just said. We want to see brutality, we want to see, you know, beautiful women, and we want to see big hulking dudes who just fucking go on a insane killing spree for revenge, not because they're a psycho. That we're not interested in. We're interested in when it's revenge, man. There's something about revenge. It's just, you know, it's a sweet thing. You know, when somebody wrongs you, you have that fantasy of getting that revenge. And man, yeah, beautiful stuff from Bisley. I'd be shocked if Bisley drew an ugly comic. He actually has drawn a few comics that I'm not that big a fan of. And I feel like sometimes it's weird, because I feel like he's in this more like cartoony style now. Like his stuff feels a little bit more cartoony than his earlier stuff, but maybe I'm just wrong. But I still love it. I think it looks great. I mean, come on, look at this panel here. Beautiful panel here. Yeah. And there you go. And we are also being sold what seems like pornography. So climax after climax of horror and sin. So there you go. I don't know. Has Danzig turned into a pornographer? I believe he has. But first sword and sorcery epic since the 1990s. Let the carnage begin. So are we going to get issue 2? And is it going to be... is it going to be Bisley on the next issue? I don't know, because I feel like Bisley will do one issue for Danzig and then he'll fuck off and do something else. So I don't know. Hopefully he does issue 2. This looks rad. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've seen some Verotik comics and they're quite bad. A lot of them are not very nice. I'm actually gonna go over the Jaguar God at some point with Frank Turan, because I love Frank Turan's artwork in that. Well, I love his artwork. His artwork in that, from what I can remember, I quite liked as well. But yeah, Verotik is kind of one of those weird companies where it's like they kind of do some cool stuff, and then it's either like really cool and it's rad, or it's like fucking terrible. It's either like one or the other. I don't know. I feel like sometimes, like when I read those Verotik comics, like you'll get like a really solid artist. I'm not going to name any artists. But then, you know, like you'll open it up and the art inside will look terrible, and it will look like a very rushed version. And I don't know if it's just like Danzig just wants to get them out as fast as possible, or if he kind of like, I don't know, maybe he's so enamored by the artist that he kind of lets it go, or it's a situation where, I don't know, maybe he just doesn't have an eye for art sometimes. I don't know what it is, but there are some Verotik comics, in my opinion, that look like absolute garbage. And then there are Verotik comics that look amazing. So, you know, but I'm happy to see they're back. I'm happy to see Danzig is making comics again, as a writer. I mean, he's I know the Misfits got back together, and I guess he's making pornography again, so that's rad. So yeah, that is Hellmask. by Bisley and Danzig. Happy to see the band get back together and make some cool comics. And you know, I think in the world that we have now with comics, I think this is going to do very well. I don't see it like taking over the world or anything like that, but I definitely think that this, you know, I am not a modern comic book reader. I pick up things that look interesting to me. Like, I will look like on Midtown Comics or something, and most of the time I'm not interested. But, you know, if we see more of these and more stuff like this, I think we're going to get old comic book readers like myself coming back and being like, hey, man, let me go pick up this new Verotik issue and stuff like that. So I'm all for this. I don't know. This may do fucking terrible and tank and sell 400 copies. And if that's the case, I don't think it would be any different than Verotik in the past. So what do they have to lose? Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you appreciated me going through some more Bisley, because Bisley, everybody loves Bisley on this channel, and I'm no different. I love Bisley, so I'm happy I could do that.